Hello and welcome back. Now, if you're just joining us, we are talking about whether MCSK Kenya is paying artists enough royalties for their music. Now, joining me in today's conversation is Majesty, who's a rapper, and we've been having such a lovely conversation so far talking about this particular situation. Now, having read these tweets that were expressed with the artists who are really well-known artists, they make good money in this industry. Do you agree with their thoughts?
Yeah, obviously. I have to side with my fellow artists. Big up King Kaka, the OG. It's time for us to take a stand, step up and fight this corruption. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you think that these music bodies need to, see the importance in creating transparency with the people they claim to protect, creatives such as you?
Yes. They need to see it as another way. I feel like when it comes to the corporate world, everything is kind of set in stone, but they need to see this as another way for Kenya to grow and get profit and boom and just, music is something that's growing here and it's something that can also bring revenue. If they just support us, it can be good for the country as a whole.
And how do you think are some of the ways they could do that with you musicians?
Forums, a lot of, I would admit myself, there's a lot of things I don't know. We need a lot of forums or platforms that provide education about everything to do with an artist. When you're starting off, when you're big, shows, copyrights, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, earlier on, I mentioned that when the backlash started, MCSK Kenya just felt like they needed to explain what exactly happened, and they give us the breakdown of how the money was distributed to the 15,000 artists. But with people not, many artists still not feeling it was good enough reason or explanation, or they're not accounting to the money as well. It just sounded like a vague story to them. Why do you think artists are so angry about this whole situation?
We fed up, man. The streets is fed up. It's just, if I think now that a lot of Kenyan artists are starting to collaborate with other artists in other industries from other countries, they start hearing stories about maybe how they make money, how it runs and works in their country. And when you come back to your own place, you have to be smart enough or woke enough to apply that knowledge. If you see there's there's a lot of mishaps in our own culture, you have to step up. Having traveled to Europe and seen how it works there, you come back here and you apply that. You know better now. That's what I think it is.
And also, do you feel like this is something the government should look at closely, because they leave it to these music bodies, yet they don't exactly achieve the roles they say they're supposed to be doing at that particular time, or as a whole organization. So do you think the government should partake in trying to create a more streamlined music industry, or a business space for musicians in Kenya?
The government should, but will they? That's the question, you know what I'm saying? Like, the government should do a lot of things, but they don't. So I think it takes us, private companies, private artists, to kind of face them and poke them a bit and be like, yo guys, this is what we're doing for the nation. If you support us, this is how it benefits you as well. Everyone wins. If we see it like that, that's what I think needs to be communicated to the government. We can't be looking at them for help right now, honestly. My faith in the government is...
Yeah. And what is someone like you going to make sure they do in order not to be in this particular situations as King Kaka and Calligraph Jones?
My philosophy in life right now is building bridges. And when you build bridges, you learn. So talking, networking, talking to these people, understanding the mistakes they made when they were coming up, applying that to myself so I don't make the same mistakes. Openness and collaborations. I feel like that was something we had as a weakness. Even just music, leave alone payments, just supporting other artists ourselves. That was something we had a weakness in. But now we're starting to, build the bridges, starting to connect and share information, and that's where the wokeness starts taking place. That's what I feel like will help.
And would you say that's happening right now with upcoming new artists such as you? Because it's a competitive space. You're all trying to do your own thing.
Yeah.
As compared to a space where King Kaka or Calligraph Jones people already making their own music, making their sales, so it's easy to come together as a community and you fight the struggles that you're facing. But for an individual like you, in a new space with new artists, do you think that sense of a community and fighting such struggles exists?
It does. Like, at least I'm trying to do that for myself. I reach out to other artists I feel are on my level right now, trying to come up and trying to drop an EP. If someone is telling me they're dropping an EP, I'll be there. If I'm doing that, they'll do that for me. And slowly we kind of build each other up, support each other, and grow.
Okay. And lastly, the question I just want to ask you, do you see MCS Kenya making a change and actually not coming back to this situation again? Because this is, I'd say, the 4th time they've been in controversy with artists about paying them very little royalties.
It's, if not now, they will eventually have to. They'll break. They will have to eventually, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. The noise is becoming too, like, maybe if it was mentioned once a year in the past, now it's been mentioned 3 times a year. Now it will become a noise that will just have to be addressed. I think that's how it's going to be. If it's not now, in the near future.
Okay,
it's inevitable.
Great. Well, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts
Definitely.
with me, Jesse, and what you feel about this whole situation with MCSK Kenya. And I do hope that it kind of changes for your artists, because this is something that does affect, if not directly, in the future when it comes to your work. Now, we're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll get the chance to look at the events that are happening this weekend, just to give you an idea of what to do, as well as entertainment news. Don't go anywhere. You're watching your magazine.